Hi, Farhana. Good evening.
Hello, Dr. Lalita. Very good evening.
First of all, I wish you a very happy Dhanteras and happy Diwali in advance.
Thank you so much, and my best wishes to you, to your family, and everyone around you.
Thank you so much. The listeners, I just want to introduce you today to one of the most wonderful women we have among us, a very strong, empowered women among us, one and only Farhana Ifat. She is a wonderful motivator, I must say. There is specific profile for her, but she personally motivates me a lot. I really follow her. I really look forward, to her footsteps. I again welcome you, Farhana. uh, Farhana is a mindset and parenting coach. Her company is Find Your Happiness with Farhana Ifat. So if you want to find happiness, you want to be a good and great parent, you want to change your mindset, you can straight away approach to this strong, independent, wonderful women, empowered women for that. And she's an IT professional, and then she turned into a coach and an author and an international speaker. Yeah, yes. She's a wonderful speaker, and you will just listen her forward, so you will get to know about it. She's working with 2000 plus coaches globally, not only India. She's from Chennai, India, but she's working globally. In the countries like UK, US, UAE, Egypt, South Africa, Nigeria, and I think many more. She has transformed more than 243 people's lives formally and informally. And she as well is a DMIT counselor for students and adults. And the long list of her working and achievements. So I can keep on talking, late till night, but I'll cut and short it. She's a wonderful mother as well of two daughters. Uh, her Friday and Saturday evening, she always watched movies with her daughters, and she spent quality time with her daughter. And her Sundays are, they are digitally detox day. That is something really wonderful and is needed for every family, just to focus her family. So as I mentioned, I can speak for very long, but like I'll have to cut it short. Further, Farhana, I request you to just tell us a little more about you.
First of all, thank you so much for such a lovely introduction, Dr. Lalita, because I guess you've like very beautifully described me, and it has been a great pleasure, and I was so much looking forward for a session with you, especially because I'm not sure how did I inspire you, but I have been following your work too. So we are secret admirers of each other, I should call. But yes, of course, this subject of parenting is something very close to my heart. Anyone talking about it, like my extra eyes and my extra ears on are on them. So so that's one of the reasons where instantly I could connect with you. And yes, of course, today we are here together, so which is something great. I'm so honored, I'm so privileged, because talking to you, having doing a webinar, a show with you is something to give and take, right? So it works both ways. So I'm sure this conversation is going to be really exciting for the listeners and the viewers as well. Thanks a lot, Dr. Lalita, for the opportunity.
Yeah, Farhana, like as we discussed this session, we could have done even later, but we thought, no, this is something wonderful and it should be a Diwali gift from us to the parents and to
Yes,
the listeners. So I really thank you,
absolutely.
especially for coming on this Diwali occasion, just sparing your time and then
Yeah.
coming for this conversation. So just to make it a happy Diwali indeed. So today, listeners, we are going to discuss about traditional parenting versus modern parenting, right? This
Right.
is a topic I really love to talk about, and I have got a very, appropriate, apt professional just to speak about this particular topic. So Farhana, first of all, I request you just to tell us, like, what is the
Mhm.
meaning of traditional parenting?
Right. The traditional parenting, as the word itself describes, is something that our ancestors have followed. The traditions. have been set or predefined, like this is how one should be, this is how a father should be, this is how the mother should be, or the responsibilities shared by parents or set by our ancestors from different parts of our own religion and culture are all traditions, right? Each of us follow different cultures, different religions. Especially in India, you could see that there's a lot of variances. And yes, when it comes to Indian parenting, we have too many traditions. So yes, that's what in short, traditional parenting I could describe about.
Okay, thank you so much. Like, Farhana, can we consider that traditional parenting is not good? Is it so? Is it a negative word, traditional parenting?
Not at all. I disagree because, a lot of times, if you realize, we, like you and I, we have we are following many traditions that we underwent as children from our parents. The kind of parenthood that we were given to. We follow it, and in definitely in one way or the other, it still stays in our mind. Every time you do something, somewhere the voice of your father or your mother keeps popping up, like, okay, you got to be careful. So that kind of a traditional parenting is there, which, there's a back no voice that keeps on being with you live almost all of your years, wherever you go, even if you're not physically staying with your parents. So that's kind of an impact that parents have given to us. But I don't see that happening in our children, right? They tend to forget what we tell them just yesterday, and they tend to repeat the same mistake. And if you even try to remind them, they're like, oh, okay, mom, I forgot, right? It's all right. I'll do it right now. So they have instant solutions, but yeah, they instantly ask sorry and instantly go ahead. But the kind of traditional parenting we have all acquired, which is so precious, I say, is something very good, very honorable. I always enjoy and cherish that. And I definitely would insist our listeners and viewers to safeguard the traditional parenting and pass it on to the generations that are going to come ahead, right?
Yeah, yeah, so true. Like, next, I would like you to, just, I feel modern parenting, this word by the parents now, is taken, I think, wrong somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That the meaning of the modern
course.
parenting is considered very much wrong somewhere. Like, they want to say, or I must say, they want to escape from the responsibilities on the name of the modern parenting. They want to go into the
No, of
comfort
course.
zone, being modern parents. So I want you to please make it a little more clear to the listeners.
Absolutely. See, the terminology modern itself is being wrongly used on parenting. Okay. That's why, when the topic we had to discuss is on traditional parenting and modern parenting, it's kind of a reminder to all of us, to all of the viewers, that modernism should not be actually associated with parenting, because modernism is something to do with, like, okay, we used to live in independent houses, and we used to do a lot of other stuff wherein, these days we see everything being automatic now. We don't climb the stairs, we take the lift. So we use technology, modern things, and we don't have a normal telephone. We use iPads and, like, mobile phones, and everything is easy. That is modernism. But how do you incorporate that into your life? It does not mean that modernism is ignoring your emotions towards your children, right? Ignoring your responsibility towards your children, especially for the Indian parents, because we have a culture. We are known, Indians are especially known across the globe for the heritage and the culture that we have been always following of a family bonding and togetherness, but which is seen to be diluting in the recent decade, which I feel that one of the reasons is the modernism and the technological aspects, which has popped up in India and spreading very fast. So parents are getting confused. This generation is getting confused about how do they parent their own children. And sometimes, they don't know. They want to imbibe, like, whatever they got the type of parenting from their parents to their own children. But children are so fast. They want instant solution. They don't have the patience right? But we got to actually be creative enough to bridge that gap. Trust me, Dr. Lalita, the next generation, they are not going to have any troubles in doing any parenting work. But because, they will have set all these technological aspects, settle down with, curiosity, overwhelming of, mobile phones and gadgets and everything together. But this generation parents are going through a massive, massive pain in terms of dealing with their children. So one of my vision and mission of life is to have this bonding going together always, not lose that, because identifying your emotions, how are you able to balance and keep control of your child emotionally in your hands, under your control. But it's not control meaning it's not physical control, but yes, you connect with them mentally, you understand the child, and then give them that kind of a space to actually use modernism in an effective way, still not losing the relationship. Yeah. I'm sure like I've touched upon here and there, but I'm sure like I was able to make a point.
Yeah, right. Like it's like what you want to convey here is something, understanding the modern and traditional parenting, balancing between both of them. I think
Yes.
somehow some parents are considering modern parenting is something westernization, like Western
Huh.
style of parenting. Every country
Yes.
has its own culture and tradition. India has its
Yes.
own culture and tradition. And I think the
True.
beauty of culture of India is like many things we are doing, but we don't know the scientific reasons behind them. There are
Correct.
certain things we don't know the meaning
Yes.
of that. And
Absolutely.
now PhDs are being done on those things only, which are in
Oh
our
yes.
culture. And Indians need a
Absolutely.
validation of PhD for that. I mean, others are accepting the
True.
things, but Indians need that validation. So, westernization and modern parenting, how is it different? If you can just elaborate a little more on that.
Of course, for example, westernization is something that, if you see when a baby is born, in fact, the baby is made to sleep in a different room. The baby is not even sleeping with the parents, right?
Hmm.
The independence and the individuality is being given right from that age itself. But here, I trust me, I have two daughters. One is like, 10 years old and 6 years old. I need my child next to me. I need to touch my child, and I want my child to sleep on my arms, and only then I can sleep, right? So this is one of the classic example. But however, these days, being in a culture where we are nuclear families most of the times, right? See, again, earlier in India, we used to be joint families, and due to space constraints or whatever may be the reason, the rooms and the space given to each family is very limited. And that itself kept the bonding really big, high. You don't have a space, you got to sleep next to each other. And there is this thing called, I call it touch therapy, right? Touch and feel therapy. So you need to keep that emotions going on, touching and feeling and hugging your child most of the time. Even if you're angry, just pat on the shoulder, or just do it like, now I know your son is there, just look at him and just hold his hand. I'm sure like that's what he's here for, and he's going to go away. Hi, sweetie.
Say hi.
So
Say hi.
hello. Yeah, I can see you. So yes, so that itself is being changed right now, because now I see that a child who is like 3 years and 4 year old is asking for a separate room. A separate room has been created for a child. All decorations or advertisements, actually captivating the parents' eyes to give that pink fancy look for the girls and the blue fancy look for the boys, and they give the room along with a bed. And children are way too mature. They say, okay, I'm all by myself. Give me that liberty, I'll sleep. Wherein, in fact, after they finish their college, now the parents' mindset is, as soon as you finish your schooling, they have set a mind that my child is not going to be with me. My child is going to study away, right? Away from home. So my parents are also already mentally prepared. And earlier days, parents never used to send children outside, right? They want the child to study in whichever college or thing in their own locality. So this small things itself has made a lot of huge impact in the relationship of parent and children. And along with that, the technological factor, we tell a lot of the times our child to not spend time on the TV or not use the gadget. But what do we do, right? So it's so unfair that we spend so much time on mobile, giving an excuse that we are working and we are adults. But children learn from parents. That's not fair, isn't it? So
Right.
this modernization, so itself, as I told you, being independent is there, absolutely. But are you actually preparing your child to be independent or westernized as the Westerners do? We don't do that because
Right.
they have a pattern. They know how to emotionally connect with the child as long as the child is under the parent's control. The way they speak to the child is different, but the way we treat our children is not the same, right? Here we like, if I with one of my shouts, my children are under control. It doesn't happen in Westernism, but my children know that when I'm angry, I'm angry. I when I want to love them, I love them. But many parents don't love that part. They miss the part of loving. Always in an authoritative mode of instructing and being in a Hitler format, right? So you got to do this, you got to do that. Right? Where is that kind of a bond? What is that you're giving? How are you connecting emotionally to the child? So unless we understand or the parents understand where do you stand first? Do you use traditional parenting or modern parenting? Classify yourself and then take forward your complaints about the child. Most parents come to me like with complaints saying my child doesn't listen to me, my child is so arrogant, my child wants everything to be done just in the moment, he misbehaves wherever I go. The only one question I had to ask is like, please talk to me. I have to understand you, right? But most parents get offended about it. But yeah, people
Yeah.
who understand, they do understand.
Yeah, they are so conditioned. Their conditioning has been done. They consider like just their parents. Nobody asks their parents, how are you parenting? How can we be asked what kind
Yeah,
of person I
yeah,
am? Secondly, the
exactly.
parents, they are working, they don't have time to spend with the child. And even if they have time, so they will ask only about homework, classwork, marks, and exams.
Yeah,
There is no sort
yeah,
of connectivity there. And then, as you
yeah.
rightly said, about modern parenting, like I want to bring in one point
Mm-hmm.
about this, you know, like discipline is whether traditional parenting, modern parenting, or whatever. I think some kind of discipline is always required at home. On the name of
Of
modern
course.
parenting or modernization, we cannot, like you rightly said, we want space, we want a private room, then we want our own timing of having dinner or
Yeah,
breakfast, we want to
yeah.
have our own time of waking up and getting up. This is something I think goes lifelong with the child, whether you are a modern a kind of parent or you are a kind of traditional parent. This is something needs to be balanced. Always some rules
Absolutely.
in the family are needed. I think so, if I'm not wrong. Privacy
No,
is fine.
definitely. I always mention to parents that, set ground rules. There need to be a family rule because earlier, if we compare to the traditional parenting, I don't think parents ever learned how to parent their child looking at another person or a neighbor, right? But these days, most parents learn from other parents. They look at, okay, my that child is doing this, that parent is taking enrolling our child in this school, in this class, in this curricular, extracurricular, so I got to do that. So no, earlier parents used to just do what they can provide, right? There is no competition in parenting. But right now, I think most parents are competing. Literally, I am doing this for my child. My child is like more competent. He is into sports. He's into singing. He's into this. He's into that. Oh my God! Have you ever analyzed your child? What is his or her intelligence? Does he or she like sports at all? My second daughter likes learning music. She doesn't like sports, but my elder daughter likes sports. It's absolutely fine. Being a DMIT counselor and an educator, so I know I have to validate that. Every parent, I insist that to validate it. And coming back to the family rules, right? I would suggest talking about the intelligence. Each of us are different. In fact, passing down the traditional parenting to the modern parenting itself, we need to know who we are at first as a personality, as the traits we have developed, as the codings we have formed, because we all come from different backgrounds and we all carry different genes. You don't really have to be the same kind of a person how your mother or a father had been, because we only carry 13 chromosomes from your father and only 13 chromosomes from your mother, and the rest have been passed on from your ancestors, right? So your thoughts are varying. Obviously, my thoughts don't align with my parents at all, because I don't know, one or two here and there, maybe from the 26 that I have got. So it's always good to know who you are as a person. There are a lot of tests been happening now. Dr. Lalita is also, she is a genealogist, and she is into child and intelligence and personality as well. So you people who know Dr. Lalita could connect with her. What are we talking? If you guys might not understand, but knowing yourself will help you a lot in terms of creating ground rules and house rules. In my home, for example, I follow this tradition passed on from my own family, that eating together, whatever time it could be. We eat minimum 2 meals together, right? Morning, everyone is running, it's fine. So eating and no TV during eating, that's the best time we actually invest with our children. I don't call spending time, because spending time is like one way, you're just spending it out. So I call it investment. Today I'm investing my time so that my children are bonded with me for the lifetime. This is one of the traditional thing and the ground rule of my house, where we wait for everyone to get together and we eat together. So that 15-20 minutes, the meal is happy meal. So we ensure that we are happy. Any conflict arises, we park it. You can always define. You want to debate, you want a conflict, yes, let's do it after the meal, right? And this is one other thing I would like to talk to, our parents never might have avoided having any conflicts or fights in front of us. I have heard my parents arguing after I slept, ensuring I guess children are slept. Let's discuss this now. Okay. And I do follow that too here, because I don't want my children to listen and create, because children are very creative. Their thoughts are really wide. When the thoughts are actually increasing, we don't want to pass on a wrong message to them, because their children are usually connected to mothers mostly than their fathers. So whatever is happening, they will forgive the mother, but they'll not forgive the father. So it is the responsibility of a mother to ensure that the connection, the bondage is there, and face all of these challenges. So set ground rules so that you all follow a pattern. Discipline, as Dr. Alita said, discipline is the key for successful people in any field. Parenting itself is a department, it's a field all by itself. Now that a lot of courses, as Dr. Lalita says, courses are coming up. So if you're not sure what kind of a parent you are, please enroll to any kind of parenting course. It's mandatory to pass on your life skills to your generation. Just over to you, Dr. Lalita. I'll keep talking.
Yeah, so no, it's so wonderfully you are explaining it. I mean, I am really loving it. It's really, there is a very thin line this time. Every parent is very much confused about understanding what, like sometimes if I'm giving freedom to my child, am I doing correct? Not giving freedom to my child, am I doing correct? In any way, if you are making your child disciplined, that is always good and perfect. But your method should be good, not enforcement, as you said, not dictatorship, a kind of investment, a kind of bonding, a kind of togetherness. Slowly, the child will go into the habit of doing it. Like you rightly said, technology has been now new normal, has been the part of life. COVID has shown us, like the small kids of nursery, UKG, Farhana, they were operating the system and telling the family, this is how it will work. We cannot snatch the tabs from them. The only thing is we need to channelize their energy. We need to channelize their mindset into productivity and positive aspects. I'll give you an example. One of my students, we
Mm-hmm.
find like he was very much active on social media. Fine. So
Mm-hmm.
we got to know what is to be done. Now, generally, what we do, we call them and we punish them, right? We just
Yeah.
put some
Mm-hmm.
punish in the sense we just try to ask them
Yeah,
to write
yeah.
some apology or something. So I just called him and I said, okay, dear, you are very good with designing and you are very good with these the things you are uploading on your Facebook. You just do one thing.
Correct.
From now onwards, whatever special occasions are coming during the month, you are going to design it for school.
Mm-hmm.
Then he started
That's called
feeling, ma'am, I can't
empowering.
do, I have coachings, I have this, I don't know what. You will have to do it.
Right.
And because
Of course.
you have that talent and I want to use your talent. So this is an example we should channelize the energy of the kid.
Yeah, of course, Dr. Lalita. And I tell you what, had I been in that same situation, what you're explaining to me to us right now, 3 years ago, before I began my journey in life coaching or self-awareness, I will call, because life coaching is a very wide topic. So self-awareness on emotions. I might not have handled that child in that way. Even if you were talking about a student, if my own children would have done that, I might have yelled at them, literally. Okay, but right now, as you say, I take a moment to respond. I don't react. I take a moment to respond, analyze how my child is able to do this and how beautifully this child is able to do, and I compare myself to that particular age. What was I doing at the age of 10? Right? This is one of the key things that every time a child does anything, please go back to your childhood and compare yourself, your age with your child. You will definitely appreciate it. And this comes only and only if you have a tab on your emotions and you have a control on your emotions. Otherwise, parents are going to be reactive. They're not going to respond to children. And this is one of the very, as Dr. Lita said, very, very sensitive situations where you lose your child easily, just like that. Just with a bang of your reaction, you're going to lose. It's like you're building an impression on your child's mind that, okay, whatever am I going to do, my parents are not going to appreciate me, right? And your child starts hiding things from you, doing everything behind your back. And then one fine day, you get to know about your child when an outsider is appreciating it. That will hurt you the most. Again, you want leave about you feeling proud, but you will first be hurt.
Yes,
Okay, I'm getting to know about my child from a third person, isn't it?
that's right.
So, yeah, taking a moment on children needs your emotional balance. So, unless we have control over our emotions, you're not going to distinguish between are you a parent or are you bringing forward your childhood aggression or your anger, which you underwent when you could not do things.
Yeah.
Meaning the bad side of yourself is going to reflect back. And you're going to, enforce on your child, which is again really poisonous. So, yeah,
Right.
over to you.
Like you just said, you time and again and emphasized on knowing yourself. Like the first chapter of my book is Know Your Child. But before you know
Mm,
your child as a parent, you should know yourself. Because if we don't
right.
know each other, we don't know our child, we don't know ourselves, how can we proceed further in life? Every child is different, every child is unique. The needs of the children are
Mm-hmm.
totally different. So, first of all, we
True.
need to know ourselves and our children. This is like we always recommend. And secondly, like
Yeah.
what I can abstract out of your conversation is the message. I think somewhere is it's not the traditional. I mean traditional in the sense the time has gone when the parent is saying something and the child is straight away doing it. Now that time has
Mm,
come where the parent needs to set himself as a role model, as a true role model. It's not
true.
like kind of I want my child to get up early in the morning and I'm saying, okay, you just get up early in the morning. No, it will not happen.
Mm,
I'll have to do it with him. I want him to be
yes.
healthy. I want him to follow the
Right.
time. This is the time for meal and this is the time for meals means this is the time for meals at any cost.
Yes.
I'll have to
The
follow that.
discipline. Yes, the discipline, the house rules.
Like the same is the case with dressing sense. Like these days, if you observe the teachers as well, the parents as well. So quite a modernization, a westernization, like, okay, everyone is doing it, so let's also do it. Otherwise, see, we can maintain that culture, but not by enforcement, by being role model and by connecting with the child, associating with the child. Slowly, slowly, the child understands the value of it and will definitely follow it.
So definitely it works a lot. The once you make that connection with your child, like you rightly said, right? You will need to wake up along with your child. You cannot just like that instruct a child. See, okay, going back to traditional parenting, those days, if the father says you have to wake up at 4, the child wakes up because the father wakes up at 4 o'clock and then he wakes the child. But nowadays, you say, okay, you have to wake up at 4 o'clock, but I'll be waking up only at 7 o'clock, right? That doesn't work. And this, I call it partnering with your child. You got to partner with your child, like, for example, how do you treat your partner in business? You, with all due respect, respecting their time, respecting their emotions, respecting their reactions, and the benefit that you're going to expect from out of your partner, right? The business partner. So why don't you treat your child as a business partner? I just always say this. When you look at your child, not as your child, because most parents think it's my child, I have all control over my child's life, all control over his emotions. And if he's going to disobey my instruction, I'm going to get hurt. Right? Please partner with your child. When you partner, remember that he or she is your business partner. And with your business partner, you're not going to ill treat your partner, right? So please don't ill treat your child. Respect their emotions. Try and understand. So when you're going to partner, have a partner in your business, you're going to study about that person. Study about their business. How have they been progressed in their life? Why don't you study about your child? Know your child, as Dr. Liza rightly said. Her book's first chapter is Know Your Child. My book's last chapter is Know Your Child. So, it's so important knowing yourself and knowing your child. Where in the world that we're all running, and we don't know where we are running. Trust me, we don't know the outcome and the goal. Have you ever questioned yourself? What is your life's mission? Why are you running for? And what are you running for? Most common answer I get to hear is, whatever I'm doing, all my sacrifices is for my children to give them better life. Okay, but are you there for them? No. If you sit back and ask your child will say, I never asked all these things from you. I wanted you in the moment.
So true, Farhana. Like, no, if a child, like, for example, I am as a mother, maybe I am today economically very much sound, fine. But when my baby is born, anyhow, the situation comes and we are living in a 6x6 or 6x10 room. The child is happy within that. The child will find his corner of happiness there. He's not bothered about that the child need a big room, the big corner, the separate room. Not at all. The child just need our connectivity with them, spending time with them. That is, we make a perception that child need this, child need that, child need this, child need that. And due to this, we are just felicitating, we are giving them facilities and facilities and facilities. The child
in
do
fact,
not
Dr.
need.
Lalita, it's not the child's need, it is the parent's need. Because the parents, of course, I come from a humble background, okay? It was my need to be staying in a better house. When I realized this, when I was running on earning money to have big house, big thing, big that, I was not able to spend time with my child, right? So it was not their need, as you rightly said, it was my need. I was thinking they need a better home. Yes, of course, whatever is in my capability, whatever I could offer, that's more than sufficient. Even now, my children keep telling me, like, okay, Mama, let's go to UK, let's go here, let's go to Maldives. Their friends are going, they watch on YouTube. Somebody is putting a lot of curiosity posts that, okay, Maldives is open even without, vaccination. So all kinds of curiosity and the urges. See, if we all focus on what Amazon does, Flipkart does, or anything that creates curiosity, is to tempt your emotions. It has to deal with your emotions. If you are buying things which are more than needed, only for the sake that it is on offer, trust me, offers are going to be there lifetime. Every day you can see offers. So don't get really panicked. Okay, I'm going to lose the offer. So check on your emotions. Check the patterns of the offers right now, and start focusing on the kind of emotions that you put in when your child is around you. So have control over what is needed for you, because it's not your child's need, it's your need to fulfill it for the child. So maybe you can give a thought about it. Please comment back to us. Whatever we are speaking right here, right now, do you resonate with yourself? If so, and if you need any kind of help, you can reach out to Dr. Lalita, or you can reach out to me, because whatever we are saying is like a lot of realization, lot of emotions, lot of practice we have made, so that we have come further down. I have come, at least, I'm not sure about how much Lalita has traveled, Dr. Lalita has traveled, but I have taken that effort to ensure that I am giving that time to my children. I put my children as the first place. And I took too much of effort on my emotions, on my needs, on my basis, on my dreams, and so many things. So it takes a lot of practice. It may be easy and
So true.
motivational to watch us talk, right? You may listen and feel motivated. Yeah, once we are done, you may go back to the old stuff. But
Yeah.
even I go, most of the times, Dr. Lalita, I have to admit. So
Yes.
viewers, don't underestimate or misunderstand us that, okay, we're all okay, super cool parents. Yes, we do lose temper, but we know how to patch up with our child still. Yeah. So there
So
is this understanding which is much needed for each of us.
so true. Like sometimes we are overburdened with work. Sometimes, obviously
Yes.
we are parents somewhere. We are working as well. We are at home as well. We are learning and studying and aspiring our dreams as well. So we
Yeah.
cannot give any excuse on the name of modern parenting that we will not spend time. We are giving privacy to the child. We cannot make these excuses.
Hmm.
And about technology,
Yeah.
like so beautifully you have explained it to everyone. Like when we are on social media or we are working something like on the device we are working, we get lost. At times we get lost.
Yes.
Then just think about the
Yes.
children. A device is just given to them, and
Of course.
whatever they want, they can do. We need to even spend time with them on that device, whether playing their favorite game, whether just doing some puzzles or listening to stories, whatever it is. Only in
Yeah.
that way, I feel we can manage them. We can help them to understand the limitations of using technology and these devices. Just giving them a
Absolutely.
free hand of it, I think we cannot help them. I think we on the name of modern parenting, we cannot leave the children. We just get rid of our responsibilities just on the name of this. So last thing I want to ask, however, we can talk day in and day out about it,
Yeah, I
Farhana.
know. I know.
But one last thing I want to ask, like people when just listen such kind of conversation, they get motivated, but somewhere they feel, oh my god, we have to do too much, it's too tough to do it. I and you
Right.
do not believe in this is a process, and the we need to be constant with it. It's not
Yes.
tough, so I just want your suggestions for that to the audience.
Of course, see, as we, right from the beginning, we're talking about parenting itself is an overburdened concept that parents think, oh my God, I don't want children. I have heard this from many youngsters or newly married couples. I don't want children at all. Or if at all I have a child, only one child is enough. But you need to understand that until you have your second child, you're not going to be on yourself, right? Deciding for one child. So have another child, because the child has somebody to play with, somebody to focus on, with their age, not trouble you. So to get yourself really relaxed, because a lot of parents say, okay, one child itself has done too much pain, I've sacrificed too much, sacrifice little more of few more months and few more years, just give birth to another child, get both of them in one place. They will not trouble you. You get lot of time for yourself, like for many years together. The other thing is, again, plan your day, because discipline, as Dr. Lalita mentioned in one of our, in just a few minutes back, the discipline on certain things, setting ground rules, even setting time for appreciation and setting time for anger or complaints. while you set rules for a house, set a time or a day for complaints. You can make it fun. So that particular day alone, you're going to complain or, talk, discuss, or, try to correct your child, and complain and acceptance. Okay, that's most important. It's not really hard. It's easy. It only takes your focus on your child, your attention on your child. Like how easily we get carried away, just a ping and a light pops up on my phone, like even though it is on silent mode, like, while I'm talking itself, like automatically our eyes goes, right? So much we are distracted. That itself is a whole world inside it, and we get so lost. Children's brain are like wet clay. If you're not going to mold them at the right time, they're going to be stuck there forever. That emotions and the relationship that you've created during thinking he's just a child or she's just a child is going to create a long gap. So you will have to take that emotion thinking it is easy, accept that, okay, he's my child. I have given birth to the child. And guys, I always tell this in any of the webinars or conversations I have: mothers are magical. Okay, this is not really any word or M for mother and M for magical. God has created mothers with so much magic. All the religions will give that value to a mother, right? There's so much science behind it, so much cultural concept behind it. All the religions talk about the motherhood and how mother, and any movie, anywhere, English movie, Tamil movie, Hindi movie, whatever movie you call, the child, however old the child becomes, he always listens to the mother. So use that power you have, that magical power, to take your child's life in your control. Meaning you will just have to focus on what is your power and how to connect with your child. The easy way to do is give 10 hugs daily to your child. It triggers the magic from there, and slowly, you will going to get that in place. Everything is going to be easy. Think it is easy, it is going to be easy. So no hard and fast rule on parenting, because as we rightly said, that we all are different in personality and emotions and backgrounds. So use your own creative methods, but yes, stay connected with your child.
Right. Like being a parent, first of all, we need to give the straight lines to the kids. We should not give confusion. Like we should be clear and crisp about our decisions, our understanding. Like this is my line, this is what I'm going to follow, and this is I'm not going to follow.
Yeah.
And this clean
Absolutely.
and straight line will make a child stand clear. Right?
Now, of course,
Always.
talking about that, I wanted to mention earlier also, one of the most parents will face this, right? That we argue like a husband and wife on making any decision or anything that the child does. One parent will say it's okay, the other parent will try to punish the child. No, it's not okay. How can you do that?
Yeah.
We are confused on what the child should be doing or what the liberty we need to be giving, right? So sort it out before you set the rule. That's where the discipline comes into part. That's where the house rules comes into part. That's where the limitations that Dr. Lalita is mentioning comes into play. What they can expect from a parent or what we expect from them, we need to really communicate to the child. And as parents, we need to take some time. Like, see, we're all working, right? As modern parents, we call ourselves. So we are modernization, we think doing more degrees, doing jobs, meeting a lot of people, networking is modernization again. But wherein we are not actually modernizing, but we are getting ourselves into too many, we are putting our shoes in too many things. Okay, so just customize on what is your requirement, where you are really spending your time or investing your time and energy into, and then focus on what the child needs. Clearly, keep an hour per week. See, one of the days, like Sunday, is my detox day. That's a digital detox. I'm consciously not touching my phone. Any messages, WhatsApp, anything, I don't reply. Even though, because now I keep a tab, there's a notification which pops up. I know I read the notification, but I don't open it. It's in your mind. It's in your mindset. You can always control your mind. As a mindset coach, I tell you, So don't open the WhatsApp. And the next day, I apologize to people, whoever might have messaged me, unless otherwise, because I know I've given liberty to people to call me if it is very urgent and emergency. So unless otherwise it is urgent, people are going to call you. So don't worry, okay, I got to respond to everybody. You don't have to do that. You don't have to attend everyone. Please attend to your child one day a week. Attend to your family, wife, parents, connect that emotional bonding, trigger those moments. So that's where, when you have that balance, you have a nice connection with your partner, with your parents, with your friends, have that recreation one day in a week, automatically you're going to connect with your child too, right? I think we are all losing that human touch. Maybe, yeah, that personal touch and that happiness and joy is all kind of missing.
Right. So true. Like the child, one thing what I can take out of this conversation is the child is an independent life. So we need not to be a dictator or the owner of the child. We are not the owner of the child. We are the parent of a child. We are a felicitator. We cannot be the owners of the child. The child has come to this life through us. That's the only thing. Biologically, it is only possible they comes in this world through us, but that doesn't mean we are their owners. Somehow we are parents, we are concerned about them, and we are just nurturing the next generation. So just we cannot leave them like that to be independent, or like we should make them independent, but we cannot leave them, just like that. We step by step, slowly. We just need to mindfully check ourselves, our actions, our statements. Here are the limitations. Here we cannot do any kind of, bargaining. Okay. A clear line should be there. This is the limit. No bargain on this particular thing. Yes, this is something we can bargain on it. I mean, we should be clear about our thoughts, about our, expectations, about our discipline area and limitations. Automatically, I think the things will wonderfully do. I mean, this is is a wonderful conversation. I mean, like your investment, word of investment with the child is more understandable for the public of the modern parenting.
Of course, because we do a lot of investment from money, right? We think that, okay, we are investing so much money for the child's future, for the vacation, next year's vacation. We take time to invest in all the external factors. Why don't we take the time to invest in our internal factors? Go on an internal trip, a journey where, you spend those beautiful moments when your child is lying down on your shoulder and sleeping. Take that 5 minutes of your time, right? To cherish it, to nourish it. So it's going to be beautiful. That magical energy is what I'm talking about, the connect, right? That is more than enough. Trust me, children cannot spend more than 5 to 10 minutes with you. They just need your attention for 5 to 10 minutes, and after that, they're going to run away. So don't be scared of them. Just give that 5 minutes. When they come, just look at them and talk. Now, even we saw Dr. Laita's son came. She just attended him. And he's gone. He's not turned back for a long time. It's all right. That's what they need, because they become little, insecure of, okay, my mom's mind is being diverted from me. I don't want my mom to divert. I don't want that divided love and attention, right? So we all need attention. Children do need attention.
And the last point I want to bring here is like a kind of competition in modern parenting. I'm a better parent. I'm giving better facilities to my child. If his child is doing that, my child should do that. So this kind of is a great and huge confusion. Some kids are going in on some tuitions or some classes of the street, then the whole street start doing the same. The whole class start following it. I mean, just there is they are not understanding the need of it. They are not understanding the type of child they have, the feelings and the needs of the child. But just straight away, all other, like you rightly mentioned, a child is going for dance class, music class, singing class, this class, that class. Like the child has lost with his child, and is just doing professional things. Like we are killing their creativity in this running rat race of parenting. So I think somewhere parents need to understand that.
No, of course, that comes with the study of intelligence, multiple intelligence. I've mentioned this on my book as well, and it's there
Yeah.
on my website. If you get the details, like you must be watching this recorded session where Dr. Lalita would be tagging me. So go
Yeah.
to my website, and there is a whole blog I've written on multiple intelligence. There are 9 types of intelligence, and they're actually, researching more on intelligence type as well. So, for example, talking about intelligence, we all know Sachin Tendulkar, right? He's a body smart person, meaning he could never study. He used to fail in his subject. We know the history. Now, today, if you see, I have heard, I've not read that book yet, but I've heard that English chapter number 1 is about Sachin's life story, where he's not even past, I guess, 10th grade. Okay,
Yeah.
that's where it comes into picture. But imagine how much of tremendous pressure that Sachin Tendulkar might have undergone during his childhood on pursuing his career or his dreams. But not everyone get to be lucky as him, right? We start compromising on life, and this compromise only has a lot of impact in the way that we parent our child. Maybe our parents did not understand us, and many a times most parents try to fulfill their dreams through their
Through
children,
the children. Right. Right.
which is so wrong. Please identify your child's intelligence. Where is your child intelligence lie? I can't ask A.R. Rahman to come and play cricket because his intelligence is on music. He's music smart person. And I can't ask Sachin Tendulkar to do music or do a singing because he is body smart person, right? So, and if you tell me, like me and Dr. Laita, I'm not sure about her intelligence. Of course, it might be because the speakers, right, or the people literature and who are all into this understanding concepts. We are all like word smart persons. So
Yeah.
you can't ask me, my husband keeps telling me, like, why don't you join a gym, do yoga and all that. Yoga probably I could do because it's like sitting in one place and doing, but yeah, I can't do a gym because my body smart intelligence is very low. Okay, so you can, yeah, you don't, this is an intensive study altogether, but you don't have to go to that extent. Observe your child, just Google out multiple intelligence or go to my website and see what multiple intelligence is. I've explained it in very simple words, and try to connect with your child, what your child is doing, how your child is behaving, and mold your child in that angle. My daughter loves sports. My daughter loves painting. I only put her in 2 classes for her. I don't put her in singing. When an elder one I'm talking about. I don't enforce her into all the classes that comes into the world. No. So that they get more time spending and polishing their skills, right? Rather than being confused and going, what happens is when they do something which they don't like, they are actually exhibiting the negative hormones in their body, and that's why one of the reasons when obesity comes into play. That's the reason of early puberty comes for girl children, and there are so many chemical reactions happening now. We do things when we are happy and emotionally connected. We exhibit the oxytocin chemical in our body, perform well, and we give our 100%. Now, if you're saying, we're talking and talking and talking. I really enjoy my day. In fact, I've had a bad day from morning. Trust me, nobody can. If I had a bad day, look at the brightness in my face because this I love doing it, right? So I was so curious to come and talk here. So I am liberating happy hormones, which would balance the bad hormones that I might have been generating throughout the day, right? So we all need to focus that. You're on mute, Dr. Lalita. Sorry, you're on mute.
After having so many technical glitches, even we said no, we are going to do it because this is something we really love doing it. We can, we can straight. I said this is the last thing we will discuss, but still we can keep on talking.
Yeah,
a lot.
No,
yeah. So your
we need to do another show. Yeah.
We will definitely do it. We will definitely do it. Yes. You just quickly give a last message for today's this conversation.
Right. Always my last message to anybody, like in various topics I talk about, is first take some me time. You need to allocate me time. That's where it all starts. because we never take or give importance to ourselves. We start thinking that it is always like I have to become and sacrifice myself for others' happiness. No, you can't make everyone happy when you are deep down sad or hurt. Please take your me time, spend time, quality time in doing small things like gardening, cooking, sleeping. Best me time is my sleeping time. And I take it power nap because I when I'm stressed, right? I like to shut down my computer. It's like I relate my mind to a computer. I like to shut it down and restart it, refresh it. Compare yourself with a mobile phone. You refresh it, right? So because we're talking about modern parenting, we're all modern parents. Reboot your system, and rebooting needs your attention and action of clicking that refresh button. And that refresh button comes with that me time. I simply gaze at the sky. I love watching the clear skies or in the stars during the night time. That's my me time. I take it for 10 minutes. It's very powerful. To take that me time, which is very important. Everything starts from there.
Buzz
So that's
moments,
my
we
last
can call it.
message.
Buzz moments as
Yes,
well, we
buzz
can call
moments.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, but
Wonderful.
listeners might
And
not understand buzz moments,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's why
And
I
charity
had to use
begins
it.
from home. So true you are. Like charity begins from home. Home in the
Yeah.
sense, me time, if you don't have, if you cannot balance yourself, how can you balance anything else? You can't. Yeah,
That's the reason we're all in a mess or a chaos, right?
yeah.
So we are not emotionally aligned with your mind, body, and soul. So please align yourself, and you're going to be great. And all the best to all of you. And thank you so much for watching. And I would like to take this moment to thank Dr. Lalita for this amazing opportunity. And we hope we bring you more discussions and on various
Sure,
topics.
sure. Thank you so much, Dr. Farhana, for being with me. I'm really overwhelmed, just discussing the things with you. And all the listeners, I must say, before me, you should connect with Farhana because I am just the beginner on that path, and Farhana is a great experienced person on that particular path. I'm just her follower. So she is going to give you definitely better things than me. Okay.
No, of course. No, Dr. Lalita, we're all learning because parenting, as I always say, right, it's not a course just that you take and finish in 6 months or a year. It's a lifelong learning course.
Every other day it's changing your perception, it's changing your way of thinking, no doubt about it.
Yes, because children are exposed to new things, right? It's a learning for yourself because as I told you, right, we are in a very difficult phase of parenting mode. Next generation won't have this trouble. So you have your mind open up. And I'm always willing to learn along with all of you. Please share your thoughts. If somewhere I have miscommunicated, if you disagree, please comment so that we bring a different, new session together where we discuss. And unfortunately, we couldn't go live, but we'll try to come on live and answer your queries right then and there. We definitely want to do that because, let's take our traditional parenting, having a combination of modern parenting, yet not compromising on our own selves or not giving up on our children. We need a lifetime bonding with the children.
And I'll say it is possible. You can easily do it. Farhana is in front of you, is the example, and somewhere you can consider me as well. Like we are trying to balance.
Definitely.
Yeah?
Of course, Dr. Lalita is starting geniusologist, which is going to be an amazing mastermind where we are going to explore about how and whys and how can we make things easy for all of us. So I highly recommend geniusologist because it's a genius that you got to find out for yourself and your child, right?
It is just inside us, Farhana. It is just inside us and our child. We just need to unfold it. Slowly, gradually, step by step, we just need to unfold it. That's why, I kept the word unfold. Otherwise, there were many words, unleash and this and that, but they are very quick. And something bringing up your child and parenting is kind of unfolding layer by layer, layer by layer.
Yeah, absolutely. We wish you all the best and thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Farhana. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Sure.